Hello everyone friends, this is your blockchain developer. Today we'll talk about everyone's favorite site and about how to properly launch tokens on this platform. Unlike the classic mint, where we can send 100% of the supply to our own wallet, allocate 10% of the supply for trading, sell it to people, and then keep those 90% of the tokens, in other words, simply control our own coin on, we don't have that option. Because when you create a token here, a certain bonding curve mechanism is at work. That is, initially the developer can buy a small amount of tokens for a small amount of money. Then the token is launched on. After that, you or the users of your platform can also buy these tokens. But the point is that the token price is constantly increasing. And as a result, we face the problem that, quite simply, the project cannot own a large portion of its own token supply. How can you control the price in this situation? How can you have any control over the situation at all? Especially considering that after the developer launches the token here at the lowest price, as soon as it appears on, sniper bots come in and buy up the tokens at the absolute lowest price. And accordingly, even if investors try to get in at this point, they will already be entering after the bots. And these bots can crash the price at any moment. And to solve this problem, to put it briefly, it's a tool that allows us to secure our launches. People commonly call it a bundler bot. And it allows you to do the following. Here we launch the token from the developer wallet, buy a small amount of it, and so that bots don't get in right after the developer, the bundler bot combines the purchase transactions with the token launch. Accordingly, a transaction where we launch the token is placed into a single block, and in that same block, transactions from other wallets that instantly buy the token are also recorded. In other words, it essentially allows you to bypass those very snipers who can seriously ruin your launch, scam your users, scam you, and generally cause you a lot of problems. Moreover, it works to prevent a single person from owning a large supply of the token. You see, there is a window here called distribution. Accordingly, anyone can see an approximate distribution of tokens among the accounts. And if we were to buy all these tokens on a single account, that would be an obvious red flag for users, signaling that this token is not worth buying. The bundler bot allows you to purchase tokens from different accounts, and in this way you get a pool of 16 accounts, each holding a certain amount of tokens, which later enables you to engage in market making and, well, basically do almost anything you want with the price. And today I would like to show you how this works and how to properly launch tokens on. Let me emphasize properly, because if you create a coin using this create new coin button, immediately after you, snipers enter the same block and buy up the token at the most favorable price. And even if real users or investors come in later, no matter who they become the exit liquidity for the snipers, and it often happens that both the person launching the token and the people involved end up losing money. Meanwhile, it's the snipers who profit from all of this. They thank you for it. The token crashes and everyone is left looking disappointed. To prevent this from happening, we'll need a PumpKing bot. To do this, you need to go to Telegram. It's available as a bot. The link is in the description. By the way, the link is a referral link. It gives you a 10% discount on your purchase, and I receive a small commission for it. So if you don't mind, use that link. If you feel sorry for her, come in without her. In any case, these guys are trustworthy. I've already made a video about them. They have complete documentation that explains how the product works, which is honestly unheard of for this kind of bot. Everything is described really well, and their support works great. But in the meantime, let's go into Telegram and try testing the bot. Naturally, we click start. The bot activates for us, and we see the following. A brief description of everything it does, a launch button, which directly leads to launching the token. A subscription is needed to unlock the bot's full functionality. This accordingly is the subscription. They offer weekly plans, monthly plans, and lifetime plans. The prices are much better now than they used to be. That is, people used to pay much more before. The price of SOL was also much higher back then. And now there are discounts available in the bot, plus you get additional discounts if you use my link. Also, in general, the price of SOL has dropped a bit. And accordingly, if you, for example, choose the lifetime plan and you plan to do this on a regular basis, it will be super cost effective. Next, we have a referral program and we have settings. The settings, for the most part, allow you to set the slippage. The bot works not only with PumpFun, but also with other dexes. There is a built-in comment bot. So look, on PumpFun, when a new token is released, you can write comments here. And accordingly, the guys have added the ability in the bot to leave these comments from different accounts. In other words, you launch a token and you create a fake set of comments. Obviously, if you make comments like buy this, no one will fall for it. But if you use your head a little and think about what kind of comments could actually secure you some purchases, then it can yield results. There is a wallet. For now, we haven't launched anything, so we don't need it. And there is Volume as well as Bumbot. These are third-party products, and we won't be covering them either, at least not in this video. So the bot, by the way, even allows you to do a test launch without a subscription, but you'll need one for full functionality. I've switched to an account where I have a subscription. By the way, as you can see in the bot we have received, so the message is that the guys have made a checklist for launching tokens. There's a small chat community where people who are launching these tokens communicate directly with each other. And now we're going to try launching it ourselves and see how it all works. After starting our bot, we see two options here. The first option is Save Bundle. The second option is Delayed Bundle. How do they work? Save Bundle is exactly what I was telling you about. That is, tokens are created and transactions from different wallets to buy them are immediately bundled together. So it all comes out as a single bundle. And the second option is Delayed Bundle. Delayed Bundle is risky because at the very moment when you co-create the token and then wait for a while, snipers can jump in, anything can happen, anything at all could happen to it. Here, so I will choose Save Bundle. A certain D wallet is created for us, which is our main wallet. And we also have 16 wallets created from which the purchases will be made. To manage them, you can select Manage Wallet. And here we have instructions that describe all the steps. The first thing we need to do is deposit funds into our fund wallet. The fund wallet is the main wallet, from which the bot itself will later redistribute funds to all these smaller wallets, from which the purchases will be made. So let's copy the address. I will top up the wallet with 3 Solana. Not enough Solana. That's strange. No, everything's fine. There we go. Excellent. Now I can click Top Up Fund Wallet, and I see that the wallet balance has changed 3 Solana. To top up the D wallet, just click this button here, and we can press the transfer from the fund wallet button. So we don't need to top it up again. I click transfer from the fund wallet, and here it says the minimum amount is 0.15 Solana. So I just enter 0.15, press enter, and a transaction pops up. I confirm it. You see, here they guide us completely through every step. Next, we need to distribute the funds among these currencies, which will be used for the purchase. I just click distribute to by wallets. Here you need to enter the total amount to be distributed. In my case, that will be 2.8 Solana. And now we just need to confirm this transaction. As you can see, each currency will have a different amount of Solana so that everything remains secure and accordingly no one can tell these are our wallets. I click confirm. We're given 90 seconds for all these transactions to be completed. In reality, it will be a bit fast. There's also an interesting feature here called wallet info. We can see all our wallets, their addresses, their private keys if we click here, and the balance amounts on these wallets. We don't need this for now, so I click back. Accordingly, here I also click back. The only thing is before the launch, I'll top up the D wallet with 1 more Solana so that our launch, so to speak, looks real. So let's get some Solana. Its excellent price is definitely pleasing. There we go. And let's deposit it directly into the D wallet. Excellent. Excellent. We could transfer. No, we don't need that. Let's check if everything has been credited. Yes, everything has been credited. I love Solana for its transaction speed. Next, we click launch, then click save bundle. As you can see, the bot shows that all our wallets have been funded, and the purchase will be made from the D wallet for 1 Solana. Next, we click confirm, and we move directly to the token name menu. On PumpFun, people actually compete to see who is dumber, and usually, those who are dumber can even make pretty good money. As for me, I'll probably go, I don't know if it's against the market or not, and name the token Dump. My token will be called Dump Trump. What a wonderful name. Ticker. My ticker will be DMP, TMP. My description will be very simple. Make meme tokens great again. So, accordingly, we need to upload an image for our token. To do this, click here on the photo and go to our pictures. And I've prepared this wonderful photo for our token, uploading it. Next, the bot suggests setting a link to Twitter. We don't have Twitter, so I'll just skip this step. We also don't have a Telegram for the token, and we don't have a website for the token either. If we had all that, it would all be pushed directly into our token. And now, the final step. The last step is simply to confirm the creation of our token. We click confirm and see that the creation is in progress. All the wallets and all the buys are generated. And literally in an instant, our token is launched. It has a name and a ticker. Right here, we can see the link to the token contract, and there are also immediate links to purchase this token. So we can buy it on PumpFun, on Bulix places where people have been herding retail investors a lot lately. And accordingly, here we have this here is a beautiful menu, but before we start using it, let's go to PumpFun and take a look at our token. And here we can see that our token has launched. It's already available on PumpFun. It has purchases. So as you can see, our token was created. Purchases happened immediately, and because of that, the price chart is just going up since no one has sold it yet. And accordingly, here in the holders distribution, we also don't see anything suspicious. That is, the dev bought only 3%, and then different people bought in after that. Apparently, some people who have nothing to do with it even managed to get in here. Of course, friends, you have to understand that you need to bring an audience to the token somehow. Yes, sometimes it happens that you catch a trend, you come up with a funny name, a funny picture, and that's already enough to give it a push and get people to start buying it. The guys also have a group where there's a checklist for tokens, which explains exactly how to launch these tokens properly and how to make the whole thing profitable. That's it. And now, accordingly, comes the most interesting part. Now, if we go back to our bot, here we see the following functionality. So we have the buy more feature, which allows you to buy these tokens safely and anonymously. And we have these wonderful buttons here. First of all, we can sell SLD. That is, we can transfer only the D-wallet price. We also have the option to sell everything or to sell a certain percentage. For example, I will write that I want to dump 15% of tokens. In this way, we end up with 2 transactions from different wallets. I look at the pump and see this interesting situation. Next, from our wallet, we buy again, then sell again, and in this way we can shape the chart however we like. If you've just entered the crypto market, this might seem like nonsense to you, but this is the only way. For example, if you are the project owner or token owner, you can at least have some control over its price. And it has always been this way. This is kind of normal. And of course, besides being able to drop the percentages, you can, for example, add comments. For instance, let's take the example where the first comment is "Let's go Trump" and the second comment is "Dump soon." When we select or click on this option, we can observe that the bot automatically proceeds to add these 2 comments to the post or thread. It's important to note that the process is handled by the bot without any manual intervention. However, there is one thing to keep in mind. The comments will not appear instantly, as they will be added with a slight delay, which is a normal part of the automated process. That is, they won't appear here right away. See? 2 comments are pending so that everything stays stealthy again. Because if we immediately send 10 comments and they all show up at once, well, that would be a bit suspicious. That's exactly when they appear. Here you go, friends! And further, of course, again, if you want to do it properly, you need to create some volume. Various strategies are used for this. That's exactly what market making is all about. In other words, making it so that this price movement looks real. And sooner or later, you have the opportunity to do the following. We can press the sell all button and all the tokens are automatically sold from all accounts. The sale is basically instantaneous. And because of this, we can lock in some profit. Of course, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't launch tokens, buy them using a bundler, and then at some point dump the entire supply. But if, for example, you are launching some project, launching some cool token, you need to understand that you hold a certain percentage of its supply, and you should have the opportunity to buy this supply at a favorable price. Otherwise, why are you even launching this token? So that some bots or snipers can profit off you? Well, obviously no. And this tool is really great for working with your token. It allows you to do native market making, and accordingly, to control a portion of the supply so that later you can sell some tokens for the needs of the project, sell all the tokens, whatever you want to do with team as long as you can control them. After we've finished working with our token and our bot, we can click the withdraw to your wallet button. And here we need to actually withdraw all the funds. We can see that our profit was 4%. Well, overall, can't really complain. We enter the wallet address here and confirm the transactions, and accordingly, transactions from all accounts are sent to our main wallet. Next, if we go to wallet info and keys, we can see that all these wallets which previously had some funds no longer have any funds on them. But if we check our own wallet, I see that overall the Solana is still there. Most likely, it was sent to us from different addresses. That's what I suspect. So, friends, this is how the PumpKing Bundler bot works. Overall, it's a decent product. I'll leave a link to the bot in the description. There will also be a link to the documentation. Because, let me repeat, the team has fully detailed documentation. They have a development roadmap, and the product is genuinely evolving. So if you compare what I filmed about it just 3 months ago to how the product looks now, it's like two completely different bots. Basically, I've shown everything. I also forgot to mention that this bot allows us to launch tokens as many times as we need. So, as you can see, after we've sold off our token, we can buy it again, reincarnate it, and overall that's a pretty common practice. We can also simply refresh it, or completely remove it, and create a new token, an entirely new one. So as you can see, the subscription doesn't limit you in terms of the number of tokens. Accordingly, you can repeat this as many times as you need. But that's all for now, friends.